Ava, welcome.
Thank you. Hi.
How's it going?
I'm good.
We usually start this episode sometimes. I haven't done it in a while, but I'll ask people how's their heart.
How's my heart?
Yeah.
My heart is fragile.
It is fragile.
It's been through a lot, you know.
Oh my gosh.
What has it been through?
It's been like mauled over by a truck.
Oh my.
Like, by a bear.
Oh my.
Do you want to talk about
Are you
it?
okay?
No,
or-
I mean like I'm on the other side.
Yes,
Oh.
of course.
Sorry, this was years ago.
Oh,
Okay.
We're on the
Of course.
other side now. It's been through a lot.
What have you learned the most about your heart being mauled by a bear? Is there anything to learn from that? Stay away from bears. Yeah.
You know, take it one step at a time afterwards and don't overthink it.
Good advice.
Yeah. Well, when you say your heart is fragile, is that a strength to you, or how do you define fragile?
It's strength.
Okay.
It's strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's important to look back and try not to make the same mistakes, but we are human.
That is
Right?
true.
We are
We have to
human.
give ourselves grace.
I know. And how would we get stronger if we don't make mistakes?
What's the toughest lesson you've ever learned from?
Oh, toughest
And then,
lesson.
and then maybe a follow up. What's one lesson you're still learning about?
I have learned to take things one day at a time, like
Okay.
kind of like focus on the present, like today, not tomorrow, not yesterday. I think I've worked really hard to be like that. I'm not like that much of an anxious person anymore. I'm really good at living in the present moment.
That's awesome.
That's really important.
Right?
Have you been an anxious person? I mean, I can be a very anxious person. as
You
well.
know, I don't know. When I started off in the music industry, I was very anxious. I just wanted everything to come out on my music right away. I'm like, why am I holding on to this? And now I've learned to like hold on to the music and like really take my time and wait and, you know, take a second, take a breather. Everything was urgent in the beginning, especially right when Stupid Psycho came out, and I wanted everything to happen right away. So now I'm at this place where I'm just like chill.
You're trusting
And
the
I'm
process.
okay with it. It's not even like a struggle anymore. I'm just it's like whatever is my motto right now.
You've had a pretty like crazy, kind of come up or backstory. I mean, also, did you know you were born in Milwaukee? You were not born in Milwaukee.
I was.
You're from Milwaukee.
I
You're
was born in
you're
Milwaukee.
I was born in Milwaukee.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
But then
cheese
you-
heads.
Couple of
Let's
cheese
go.
heads.
Do you
I
still-
love me some cheese.
Do you
Okay.
still identify with the cheeseheads? Because didn't you like move when you were pretty young from Milwaukee?
2 years old with my little backpack. I like started walking to Virginia. No, my family and I, we moved to Virginia. They didn't like the snow.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
My parents were Albanian
That's
immigrants.
valid.
Does Virginia not snow?
So
Not like Wisconsin.
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
But my parents were Albanian immigrants from Albania, so they were used to like sunshine and the beach. So when it was a shock when they had
When
to
they got to
shovel
Wisconsin.
snow most of the year.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was about 8, I was just talking to my mom. I'm like, why'd you move from Wisconsin? She's like, I could not shovel snow every morning. I'm like, she's like, we just love the beach. So we moved to Virginia Beach.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you ever go back to Wisconsin or not really?
I did for a show like a few years ago, and it's so crazy. I mean, because I was born there, but I don't know it that well. But
Yeah.
I want to explore it more now.
You should. Obviously, that's where Nick's from. So his whole family's still there. So we always go for Christmas and this and that. And every time I go, I am like shell shocked that people live there and they put up with the snow.
The snow is tough. I love snow. Don't get me wrong. I love snow,
Mm.
but all year round,
It's fun
is
for
hard.
like a day.
But some people love it. I mean, like to each their own, right? Like some people really love it. Maybe one day I'll just live in a cabin in the woods where it snows all the time.
Yeah, I was pretty excited when I found out you're from Milwaukee. And then I was like, oh, she moved right away.
I might have to
So-
go back to my roots, like 20 years from now, maybe. You never know. I might be in a
Yes.
cabin.
Yeah.
But that being said, your parents being immigrants from Albania, that's a crazy backstory. They like fled.
It was really tough at the time because it was a communist country, Albania. So they could barely listen to the radio. Everything was so regulated. And so I remember just growing up here, my dad always talked about how fortunate we are to like be able to listen to even the radio. He wasn't allowed to because even if like neighbors heard you, they would tattletale on you and they would essentially hurt you and kill you and take things from you and your family and food. And it was almost like a nightmare. And that my parents are very strong people and I've learned so much from them. And I think they're the reason why I made it in my career because they always, ever since I was young, they're like, if we can make it through that
Yeah.
and then flee there and then live in France in a church for a year and then figure out how to get to America and like all that. Like they're like, you'll figure out how to be a singer. I'm like,
But
okay.
how crazy is it that like they couldn't listen to the radio and then full circle their daughter is on the radio?
Oh, for sure. They always tell me how proud they are. And my dad always gets teary eyed at the shows. My dad comes a lot to the shows and he came on tour with me last year.
Really?
Yeah, he's so cute.
Oh my!
He's a softie. Like he's a good guy.
What have you been up to lately? What have you been doing for fun? What's new? I know you've been working hard on the new music. So like what is Ava doing for fun while you're not crushing it at the studio?
Well, drinking a ton of coffee all the time.
Okay.
I've had so much coffee. I made a joke earlier, remember, that like not to have the coffee here because I'll just chug it during the interview.
What's your favorite
that's
LA
how I
coffee
start my
spot?
day. La Colombe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do love some
The Draft. I got to stop. I'm addicted. I might stop. I might have to stop. But yes, I start my day with a lot of coffee. It's really funny when I have a day off. I just don't want to think about Ava Max. I don't want to do anything Ava Max related. I just want to go to maybe walk around a furniture store. Like, I don't know. I love interior design. I know it's really weird.
No,
What do you love
I'm
about
the same.
that?
Me too.
Yeah, a couple of interior design
Yeah, we'll
fans
go
here.
together.
Yes, let's do it.
I
Do you want
love-
to talk about your favorite aesthetics?
I love Marvel. I love
Have you been
warm.
to Mid-Century LA?
No.
Oh
You need to
my
go.
god!
Wait.
It's over. It's kind of in
It's
more
in North Hollywood.
North Hollywood area. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
you will be obsessed.
Okay, I probably will. I'm like an HD Buttercup girl.
Mhm.
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
You'll die.
It all looks new, but it's like this
Yeah,
really
but it's Mid-Century.
from all over the world. I don't know. It's all these really cool pieces.
I gotta go.
It's
I gotta
very
go.
I'm
unique.
like, have you been to Mid-Century?
I'm
LA?
like gonna
And
go
it's
this
like,
week.
Is that from like this? It's all like new furniture, right? It's like this
I was
time
going to say,
period.
how do you define mid-century though?
Yeah, I
'Cause
don't
feel
I
like
don't-
if you go
yeah,
on
you're like it's mid-century. I'm like,
in Facebook,
I'm sorry.
Facebook Marketplace, everything is mid-century.
And don't ask me what dates those are because I do
Yeah.
not know.
when like the 1950s, is that what they mean?
Well, then there's
mid-century?
mid-century modern.
What would you say your
My son.
yeah?
I
your
like
interior design?
modern. I like modern. It's so funny. My manager came over to my place and she's like, it's so sterile.
Oh.
But I'm very utilitarian.
Mm.
You know, I'm very I'm a minimalist and I like things minimal, but which is funny that I just go into a furniture shop and I want to buy everything. So maybe my next place will be heavily hoarded.
Yeah, I'm like, how are you sterile? I feel like I have
don't know why.
accumulated so much shit.
Oh no,
and-
I can get rid of so much. The
That's
only
a
thing right
talent.
now is the clothes. I have to figure out the clothes
Yeah.
because they accumulate every month a lot. So I got to figure out a system in place because I do have a bedroom where it's just a lot of piles of clothes. So I have to figure that out.
But you throw. We need.
I'm good at giving away things and getting rid
that's
of
a
things.
talent. I feel like not a lot of people have that where they're like they don't have this emotional connection to this
I
the
can do
dumbest
that.
thing.
Yeah, I have a little carry on with if the end of the world happens, like my favorite boots, and
Mhm.
like I know it's really weird.
What is your for someone who's really
My
good at
favorite
getting away?
boots,
But
Like my-
what can't you live without? Like it's the
like my combat boots. Like if the end of the world happened, like I'm gonna just take this carry on.
Are
Band-Aids,
these just
combat
like
boots.
Steve Madden combat boots, or did you
No.
find these in
They're-
like or is there a story behind? Are these your dad's?
Yeah, they're your
boots that
dad's
he
boots from
wore?
Albania.
No, they're the
Like-
most comfortable shoes. They're Ghani. They're just Ghani. And like they're just like super comfortable shoes that I just always have in my little carry-on just in case I need to
in
run.
case.
You know, I'm on the 37th floor right now, so I got to be prepared.
Oh.
Wait, just in case you need to run, you're gonna
Maybe
run.
I
in
get a
combat boots?
parachute. No.
What else is in this bag other than the boots? Do you have a go-to movie?
La Colombe
La
draft.
Colombe coffee.
Literally
Obviously.
simple, just like a simple outfit, end of the world outfit. I'm prepared. I'm a prevention girl. Like I would prevent things.
Do you want to talk about the
Because
state
I know
of the
my
world?
biggest, I know, literally, I feel like if the end of the world happened, I would not know what outfit to wear.
but you have your boots picked out.
You know what I mean?
What
like
would
I'd
you
be
wear at the
like
end of the
looking at
world?
all the boots, like, oh no,
What would be my what?
Your end of the world outfit. Like if they're like, it might be the end of the world, but we
Comfortable,
don't
right?
know.
I
But
would-
pack a bag and you get one outfit.
Listen,
What's-
I don't think I would go comfortable. I think I would go like something fucking crazy because
Stiletto?
it's my last outfit ever.
no, but
So I
what if
might
you have
do
to go
something-
hunt and like?
Oh God!
Like,
Wait,
like
that's
it's,
what I'm doing.
yeah, if you ever wanted to wear like
Yeah.
assless chaps, now's the time. You know, there's no.
Listen, yeah, no, listen. I will tell you what the only thing that I'll have in my bag. It's the only thing that I'll ever need in life if I'm ever stranded anywhere. It's garlic salt.
That's true.
Wait, what?
Put garlic salt on literally some sticks, and it's
Lowry's
delicious.
garlic salt.
Oh, that's really good.
Well,
yeah.
you're so real
Right?
for that. Yeah.
Right? That's all I need. I'll be stranded anywhere and like garlic
Oh, see,
salt,
I
and
don't
I'm
eat
good.
a lot of garlic. I need to eat more garlic. I don't eat garlic.
Do you
I need to
cook?
give you this.
Garlic makes me tired. It's like it puts me to sleep. If I have a little garlic at dinner, I'm like,
You all that
I
coffee.
start snoring. And
Yeah, you have so much
It's
coffee.
coffee.
How is it not
garlic for some reason does something.
interesting?
It's like a sleeping pill.
Are you a
We never
vampire?
could cook for Ava.
I'm like, don't give me garlic. No, it's gonna be a little, but like not like a like. I was in
She's
Italy.
wearing
I
all
was
black and has sunglasses on.
I don't
Maybe
know.
she is
No,
a
I was.
vampire.
You know what's crazy? I do feel like a vampire. No, but I love nighttime. But I'm not really a morning
It's
person.
giving vampire.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
No, but I was in Italy last summer, and they made this bruschetta,
And it had blood in it, and it was so good.
they had blood. They had so much blood on it.
So
It's giving Twilight.
Yum. No, it was just so raw, the garlic, that within 5 minutes I was like, I'm not okay. I'm like going to sleep, and then I pass out.
Oh my god! Honestly, that's like cheaper
Quick,
than
go get some
melatonin.
garlic at Whole Foods. I want to test this out.
I was exhausted within 5 minutes.
Well,
We're like,
Natalie,
well-
don't you have in your purse?
I'm like, I'm gonna give this
Yeah.
another try, and every time.
That's
Every time.
crazy.
Pass out.
That is really crazy.
It's really
I've
sad.
never heard that
I
before.
really like the taste.
It's really.
Did you
She's
go to
like, I want to stay awake and eat it, but I'm just so tired.
Did you go to Coachella this year?
Went first weekend.
We went first weekend.
Yeah,
we
no,
went
I-
first weekend.
Oh yeah, it was fun. I tore my leg though. I had that much
Tore
fun.
your leg.
I tore my muscle. It's my groin.
Are you-
Oh, that's so
The
painful.
word groin is so gross to me. Groin. But I tore it. And so
what were you doing?
I was running like a fairy,
In the
not a
combat
vampire
boots.
this time.
Obviously.
Maybe a
She
vampire
didn't,
fairy.
she didn't stretch before she went in an all-out sprint.
Oh no, I was like wearing these big platforms and I was just running in and out of just like, uneven
Yes.
terrain, and it was just great. And then the next day I'm like, oh, I can't walk. Sick.
Ow! Oh my god!
Yeah.
What was your favorite set?
Ooh, that's tough. I loved Lana Del Rey's entrance.
Right?
Yes.
Oh
It was
god, didn't she
iconic.
make us all feel like a badass? Like I'm like,
truly.
yes. I was like,
Truly,
I
it
love
made
that.
me want to get on the back of a motorcycle.
Yeah, it's so
Where were
good.
you watching it from?
Just like really close, actually. Really, really close. But I like No Doubt too.
Oh.
Obviously. The part of the guitar part is it Don't Speak. That part. Oh, my heart just like went.
Who
and I,
were,
like-
who were your music inspirations growing up? Obviously, is it
Definitely Gwen.
Gwen.
Definitely Gwen.
Were
No
you
doubt.
were a big Britney Spears fan?
Yeah, I had the pink and light blue CD. Did you have that?
Obviously, yes.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course. And then definitely Mariah Carey was number one. Mariah Carey was number one. I would sing all of her songs in my basement. Drive My Neighbors Crazy.
Could you hit
was
all
my
the
little
notes?
karaoke. That's why my mom moved cross country, because I did hit all the notes at like 14, and she's like,
It
all right,
wasn't
we're
the
leaving
snow.
Virginia.
It wasn't
We're
the
going
snow.
to pursue the music dream
Oh.
with you. I'm like, really? Just because I can sing a Mariah Carey song? Okay, cool. Sick.
Can we get a whistle note right now?
Okay, let's see. Oh my God, I'm scared.
Oh my god!
I haven't done a whistle note in months. So
I don't even know what a whistle note
Yeah,
is.
whistle now.
Better than me?
Oh wow!
I can't do it right now.
gosh.
But I'm not, you have to have a song on, but no, that's good.
That's
good.
crazy.
Nick can do a whistle note.
But I
I
can.
can't.
Just try.
I don't even. You just squeak.
No.
It's like really strange. It's like, it sounds funny. I'm not committing.
Yeah, I
It's
think
already
you're
been
too
a-
nervous. I
Yeah.
think you're like, no, I don't
I'm
like
like-
so you're like not giving it your all.
I can't even do that.
No, you probably can.
How does one do that?
You just gotta try. I can't whistle. Can you whistle? I can't whistle. See, I can't whistle.
What do you mean you can't whistle?
I can't whistle either.
A
Yeah.
lot of people can't.
I can't whistle.
I learned how to whistle by sucking in,
Oh, whoa.
and then I blew out.
I also
Why is that
can't-
so funny, Allie?
She's laughing.
Is it the
Because I
word
have the
suck?
personality of like a middle school boy, and hearing your boss say, "First I sucked in, then I blew out," is kind of funny.
It's so funny because
I'm just talking whistling.
I'm jealous of people.
Do you remember that song? Can you blow my whistle, baby? Whistle, baby.
Oh.
Let me know. Like I had no reason singing that. at
Wait,
age,
is that
like,
about, is
12.
that about sucking dick?
Yes.
Oh my
Is it?
god!
Yes.
I didn't. I
So
learn
wrong.
something new every day.
So wrong.
If you listen to if you read the lyrics, it's like actually, it's not. It's bad.
Terrifying.
And the fact that I knew every single word and would be like, "Mom, let me show you the dance I made up to whistle." It's probably like,
Yeah, but our parents didn't really know, I feel like. Like, my parents definitely didn't. At the time, probably didn't think whistle
My parents
blowing
knew.
was-
It literally says you just put your lips together and you come real close. Can you blow my whistle, baby? Whistle, baby.
Never mind.
That seems clear. My sister got this will date me, but my sister for Christmas got a vanilla ice cassette. When Ice Ice Baby was popular. Are you familiar?
Of course, but why?
He has another song called "Stop That Train." I want to get off. And then my dad read the lyrics and took the tape away from my sister.
Aw.
He was like, "Yeah, you
Careful.
can't read the lyrics to "Stop That Train."
Stop that train.
Yeah, Vanilla Ice.
Is a train like
He wants to get off.
of like a train with someone? Like doing
Well,
like,
I think
Is
it's
this
a metaphor.
for what?
I think getting off, like
oh, not
That's
literally
really-
getting off, but like
Getting off.
Like getting
Getting
off.
off.
You said your
Aw.
dad got you that for your sister.
Okay.
it was like a Christmas present. I don't know if my dad got it. I think, or they did, and then
And
he
they
read
didn't
the
know.
lyrics and didn't know. I remember that.
He'll
Here's
know now.
here's two of the verses. What have I gotten into? Sooner or later, I thought she'd got the clue because my body was tired and full of sweat and perspire. The situation I was in could have started a campfire. No more skeezing and teasing for the ice right now. I find my corner, play it cool for a while, just macking and scheming on a woman I thought was cool, but now I realize that the ice was the fool.
Have you ever written a song where you're like, I can't. This is just I can't put this out. This is crazy.
God, I want to tell you,
Tell me.
but
Well, now's
I
not the
have.
time to keep secrets.
You have?
Yeah.
But I can't because like it's coming out.
He was like
It's about
like
an
a tease?
orgasm though.
yes.
It's about
Okay.
an orgasm.
And the lack that happens for us.
Sorry, mom and dad, if you're
women.
watching, change. No, definitely, it's about an orgasm,
Oh my
and
God.
it's just kind of it's about an orgasm, but we're not saying it.
right.
You're hitting like it's. I can't.
Everyone knows.
because it's not out yet, but you'll know. It'll come.
You want to tease it a little bit?
Oh, it's just like about
What was the
popping
inspiration?
the cherry and all that.
Oh
like
my
a lot of
God.
those lyrics are in there, but the inspiration was just like being on a high with someone and just like, excuse my friends, having a lot of sex.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Do your parents listen to all your interviews?
Yeah, that's why I'm trying so hard.
She's like,
Well, they're
not
gonna hear the
say-
song.
Yeah.
I know, but it's something different when you hear it with the beat. Like it feels different.
Is
Me
it gonna be
actually
weird?
talking about it?
When your dad's in the living room just cranking up the new orgasm song and
He
he's
probably
just like,
won't.
"Ava, this
He
is so
probably won't.
great."
I know. He'll say it for the first time and then he'll be like, never mind, next song. That's not my favorite song.
What about the music video?
I know. I don't know yet what it's going to be. A lot of cherries.
How does it feel doing music videos now? I feel like it was such a big thing years ago. Does it still feel the same?
I still love it.
you
I
still
don't
love
care, honestly, what anyone says. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, it's not cool anymore to do a whole big one. I'm like, I'll always make a music video, like any day of the week. I think it's so beautiful to share the song in a visual way. Like, I think even when I'm creating this record, I see it visually in my head. And so I kind of feel awkward when I don't make a music video.
Yeah, I feel like that's the best way to see what the artist like meant for the song.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we interpret it however we want to as fans, but like to see your thought behind a music video, it makes it, I don't know.
I love it. It's more, I feel like I connect to the fans more that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the love life like these days?
No. The love life. I love these questions.
Single and mingling?
I'm dating.
As much as you're
I'm dating. No,
willing
I'm
to share.
dating. Just dating.
You're dating.
Yeah.
What
I'm dating.
What are your top 5 things that you find attractive in a partner?
Funny.
Mm.
A good heart. Good heart's number one. Sorry. I can tell if someone has a good heart.
How
and
so?
that's attractive.
I think
just-
we have a lot of women who listen to the show who are out there. They're single. They're mingling. They're
My
looking for
friends-
love, and they're looking to Ava.
My friends would call me psychic, actually, because
Oh.
I feel like they always show me the guy's face before they go on a date. And I'm like, either like, oh no, he sucks. Oh no, he's a loser. Oh no, he's just horrible. Oh no, he's going to break your heart. Like, and I'm always right. And they're like, Ava, just look at this face. What do you think? I'm like, okay, that one feels good. I don't know, something with the eyes. I can feel it in the eyes. But if I were to like say, like, if you're on a first date, right, and you're trying to size him up,
Mhm.
again, I go based a lot on energy, but I think it's the way he treats, like, let's say the waitress or the waiter, saying thank you so much, taking time to just be nice to everyone around us. I think that's super important. I don't like it when people are rude. I'm not a rude person, so I can't be with a rude person. Or I want to throw up. I'm like, ugh. I need to leave. Like, I've been on a date before where it just feels this guy's just so egotistical. I can't handle it.
Yeah.
You know, so a good heart is number one. But I think, like, It's tough to say. It's energy. You got to really feel it. Gut instinct, that first gut instinct too.
So Nallie's your friend. She's like, hey, I'm going to go on a date with this Nick guy. What's the energy?
Yeah, look into Nick's eyes
Yeah,
and
look
tell
into
me
my
if he's a
eyes.
shit person or not.
We're getting married this weekend, so this is like the last chance to like let her know.
Yeah, if I need to back away.
I'm like, wait a second. Yeah. No.
But seriously, we are getting married this weekend. So.
Which congrats. I'm so happy for y'all.
Crazy.
Yes.
It's crazy. It's so crazy.
This is huge.
Any advice for us?
Any advice? Because I've been married multiple times.
It doesn't matter. I think sometimes
just be nice to each
I think
other.
those of us who have I'm not married yet, but those of us who have tried and
I've been in a long relationship,
been
a
in
7-year
love
relationship.
and failed.
yeah.
I think people who have had their ups and downs have a lot of sage advice to offer.
I will say this. I've learned a lot. I've been in a few relationships and one really, really long one. So I think just know that like, if you have a good time with that person, don't take it for granted. I think that is number one. It's like life is long, but it's also short. That's what I've come to realize. So like, we just got to love the people that are around us. And I don't know. I'm at a place where I want to live each day very positive, be with someone who motivates you, obviously. And I mean, you guys just had a kid together. That's just like that's the closest thing you could possibly do together. That's beautiful. And just be happy and treat each other with kindness. That's what I think. I know it sounds so cliche, but it's
I was
kindness
about to
is
say,
so
I feel like
important.
the cliche things is like
And
actually
communication
what-
is number one too. I think communication, sometimes if you don't have communication, that breaks up a relationship quickly, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed, like when it's just two closed off people.
Oh yeah.
Do your friends come to you for advice or the other way around?
They do.
Do you often?
both, but yeah.
Are you good at taking your own advice for your own love life?
It's funny when I start talking to them, I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably take that for myself.
I should have probably done that.
Yeah, but that's human nature. When you give your friends advice, you're not like, I mean, you want well for them. You wish them well. You want them to be happy, but you're not personally impacted by.
No, of course. There's
them.
good and
So you
bad
can
in
be
everyone
objective.
too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's good and bad in everyone. No one is 100% perfect. That's another thing I've really realized. Like, and not to say I never ever thought like, oh, everybody is perfect. I don't think that. Like, I don't think I'm perfect. I just think going into relationships in the past, I'm like, oh, I can't handle this. It's like, no, it's like, but why? What's going on? Is that something in me? Like, do I need to fix that? It's like looking inward, I think, is very important in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Putting yourself in the other person's shoes, I've learned to do, and it works.
Empathy. There you go.
Empathy. I'm an empath, though. I really feel for people. I'm like a mother in a way in a relationship. Like I'm always just like I want to take care.
Yeah, that's how I am too.
Another huge star like yourself who's recently like been kind of very proud of her relationship, Taylor Swift. Are you a Swiftie?
Oh, yes.
Also, like
Definitely a Swiftie. I love her. I love what she's done. And it's funny. A lot of people ask me, "Oh, why you? Why'd you make it? Why did you make it all of a sudden?" And I look at them. I'm like, it's just consistency, and that's what she's doing. Just consistency. Anyone who's consistent in their craft will continue to go up. And I think that's one thing new artists forget.
that's great advice.
Right?
Yeah.
I think just keep going. Oh, you want to take 2-year break? It's going to have an effect on your career. You got to keep going. Even if it's a little step, keep going because you're still going up, right?
Yeah.
I think that is the number one advice I'd give to young artists. And that's what Taylor does. And I think that's what we can learn from her. She doesn't stop. She keeps going. Even if there's a problem in her career or whatever, she keeps going.
Yeah. Even if you don't think she's working today, she's
Yeah.
doing something.
That
she's
is
thinking
the
about
secret
something.
sauce. That's
No
the
one cares
secret-
about her business more than Taylor.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the secret to success. If you stop, it's over. You just got to keep going and it's going to happen. It's right there.
Is that something you picked up from her, or have you always had that mentality as well? And you just also see that in what she's doing?
It's almost like I can't give up if I tried. Like my whole body doesn't allow it. Like I'm happiest when I'm working too. So that's like, maybe that's a flaw in me. I just love to work. I'm working constantly. Even on vacation sometimes on the second day, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to do something today. You know, it's strange. But I also feel like, you know, I'm human. I get sad and angry and upset, and it's okay to take a day or two, but then just get back on it. It's like, I think it's important.
When she writes, she's like very well known for her little Easter eggs and clues in her song. Is that something you do when you write music, or not as much?
I do it sometimes. I did it for the last album. I don't know. It depends. I'm not as like, I feel like she really goes in, and I think that's her thing. Everyone has a thing. I don't know. I just think she's great. I think she's great. Again, she keeps doing things. Whatever it is, she keeps doing it. And we all love to watch.
Doesn't it get exhausting?
It is exhausting. It is exhausting. I'm not going to lie. I mean, the traveling is hard. Like my first world tour last year was so fun, so incredible. It gave me so much like love inside performing every night. But traveling to a different country almost every day was exhausting.
Oh God, I bet.
But I try and sleep wherever I can. You know, sleep for me is number one.
I've been seeing a lot of like, I remember this was a thing, I think when Harry Styles was on tour, but like people throwing things on stage. And I know last year you were like attacked.
I was.
I mean,
by a very big man.
Like, first of all, are you okay?
No, I was good. He scratched the inside of my eyeball and
what?
and he smacked me and I like fell back. I mean, there's a video of it.
Yeah, I remember seeing
Was he
that.
actually attacking you, or was he being
He came
an
on
idiot?
stage and attacked me. Yeah, and thank God one of my crew members and bodyguard, like they just grabbed him right before he could like really fall on me because he was a big guy, like 6'4" maybe, massive guy. And I was like, and I thought for a second there, I thought one of the dancers' shoes hit me in the face, and I was like, but that's not the routine. I'm like, wait a second.
We practice this a lot.
And then I look over and I'm like, oh, I just got hit. I just got hit. And like, cause I was saying goodbye to the crowd. It was the last song. I mean, it was the last, you know, I was saying goodbye. It was in LA here. And so I was like, goodbye, everybody. Love you. And boom, got hit. It's interesting.
Was he a fan? Do we know?
He, on Twitter, he has like this obsession. Like he got his mom involved saying I'm his like, she's like saying I'm her daughter-in-law.
Oh, no.
So a little bit of a creepy obsession.
Yeah. Oh my God.
A little scary, follows all my friends. Like, I don't know. It is terrifying sometimes because that creepy obsession could turn into, I mean, hopefully not something bad, but something bad. And it scares me a little.
But I feel like that, like, the fans like wanna, with like throwing things on stage, I know they want to like give you, I don't know if they've ever done that to you. Obviously, this was like...
They throw things like teddy bears and roses. And I think that's... Yeah, it's cute. But when a 6'4" man comes and attacks you, it's a little frightening, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm just happy everybody else was safe and we were all good.
I feel like it could have gotten really bad,
Yeah, I mean, it comes with it, I guess. Yeah, it did hurt.
I gotta say, it's something I've always wondered and never asked a musician, but like the dancing and the singing on stage seems very difficult.
It is when I have a glass of wine the night before, for sure.
That's it? That's the only time it's hard?
I swear, when I drink the night before, it's a lot harder. But then when I get some rest and like it's okay. It's like kind of like just a good workout.
But how much practice goes into that? Because the choreography, the singing, you know, doing it while you're the breathing, you know, like I can't sing period, but I imagine you need your breath, you know.
I work out before every show.
Okay.
And that gets me going beforehand. If I don't work out before an hour show, it is very difficult to take a deep breath and like keep going. And in the middle of the show, you're just like, ow, my chest kind of hurts because you're just like, you're not stopping, you know? So, so I try to get some workout in beforehand and it really helps. And I meditate. Yeah.
You meditate?
How long have you been just told me yesterday he needs to start meditating.
Yeah, I did.
Sometimes it's 10 minutes. Sometimes it's 15 minutes. Sometimes it's 30 minutes even. I just really try to meditate every day, especially before a show. I'm not as good. Actually, it's funny. I'm more in shape and on my game when I'm touring than at home. At home, I'm like, you know, I don't sleep as much. I drink a little more. I'm just like, the routine is off when I'm home.
Yeah.
But that's all I do on tour. So.
Do you find it difficult to like manage relationships or date while you're on tour with your hectic schedule?
That's a great question because I do find it difficult.
Well, I'm married to a musician,
so
you're
I know
they're
that.
like, so that's why I ask you like what your thoughts are on that.
It's hard because I'm a quality time person. So I like
Is that your love language?
Mm-hmm. So it's hard for me being far away for such a long period of time. Like 2 weeks usually is like max for me. And then I have to see that person. Or like vice versa. They have to come to me because I think 2 weeks is a good rule to have. Like wherever I am in the world, if I'm in a relationship, I want to see that person within that. You know, I can handle 2 weeks, but then more than 2 weeks, it doesn't feel like a relationship to me.
So like long distance would be off the table for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because I kind of do that sometimes when I'm traveling, but not, longer than 2 weeks.
Sure.
It's not for me. I'm a quality time person.
Right, we kind of met long distance and then But it was like every 2 or 3 weeks we would see each other.
Yeah, see that?
Yeah, I feel like that is definitely a good.
Mhm.
But also distance makes the heart grow fonder, right?
It does.
But yeah,
So
it's like
fun to
2
miss.
weeks is like is a good.
Like, you feel
I
like you're
miss
just
you.
like, ooh.
yeah, it's been long enough, but also not too long. That's a
Yeah,
good-
where you don't lose momentum.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for it because I just have this 2-week thing. It's like a 2-week rule, I think. And it's healthy, I think, because then you're like, am I in a relationship?
Despite you being kind of psychic and good advice for friends, is there something that's like what's your dating kryptonite? Like, what puts the blinders on for you? What is it about a guy that you might ignore a red flag or two?
Like a pet peeve? No.
No, almost like the opposite. The thing that you're drawn to, that like you have a tendency of overlooking things that maybe you should like not, but it's like maybe because they're always so funny or they're
Emotionally unavailable men.
you have a thing for emotionally unavailable men.
No.
Yeah, it's yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think I have a thing for that. And it's not even that I have a thing for that. It's more so like I like the timid and shy person and sweet person, right? Quiet. Maybe it's not timid and shy. It's not timid and shy.
Because quiet can be confident.
Yes, I love confidence. I think confidence is number one. So confident and quiet. I'm not a big fan of like a massive talker.
The loudest guy in the room.
Yeah, I'm more so, yeah, that's not for me.
Yeah.
But those quiet ones, sometimes once you get to know them, they can be a little closed off.
Yeah, you never know. And I think and I think it's going well in the beginning, and then I feel like almost like we're not on the same path sometimes. But again, I can't speak for everyone, obviously, like all quiet guys, right? But it's hard for me sometimes to tell the difference whether or not they want a committed relationship or not.
That's a lot of people these days.
I'm all or nothing.
So what is the Ava Max dating timeline? We had a guest. No, I only asked because we had a
I'm
guest
trying
recently.
to whoever I'm dating now is going to see this.
Well, it's important to know because I think nowadays when it comes to dating culture, there's a lot of unknowns. We recently had our guest, our friend Tom Schwartz, who came on with his new girlfriend, and they talked about how they're not official yet, but they are in love, which a lot of people.
See, I don't like that.
There you go. So a lot of people found that to be.
I'm like, adios.
Yeah.
My love language more so now is like, if I don't feel that, that I need that passion. And if I don't have it on the other end, adios.
So how many
Adios.
dates?
I'm like,
before
how
you
many
define a
adioses?
How many dates before you define a relationship? Because a lot of people now are just trying not to. Everyone's trying not to define a relationship.
If I don't think by the third date you can be my boyfriend, or even I know pretty quickly.
Yeah, you can read it in
I'm
the
a
eyes.
love at first sight kind of girl. Like I can't. Every time it's happened, it's been like, you're mine.
okay,
You're
so but
mine.
like after
I can feel it.
if you know in 3 dates, but what happens?
But after 3 dates, if I don't feel like it's going anywhere, I feel like I have to have.
And how would a guy make you feel like it's going somewhere after 3 dates? Well, like, all right, so you go on
So funny.
2 dates. Now you're on your third, and you're like, I can see it. I like this guy. What does he have to do? Like, are you guys are you having the talk then?
I mean, we could, or we could just, if I feel like it's mutual, I won't have the talk.
Okay.
But if I'm a little confused, I'm like, why would I lock down to someone if I'm confused? Because again, I'm loyal from the bat. Like if I like someone, I'm loyal. Like I don't want to talk to anyone else. Everyone else is blocked. Goodbye. I'm going to focus on one person. Like if I really like someone.
Do you make the first move, or are you they can?
I like to make the first move.
You do.
I'm a little feisty, you know?
Nelly made the
That's
first
good.
move.
Yes,
You did?
I
Yeah.
did.
See? I
I did.
love yes, girl.
I did. I made the first
Yes.
move, and now we're getting married.
Yes.
Well, you could argue she made the first, like
400.
second, third.
Because I know a
move.
lot of
Yeah.
girls, don't like to make the first move, but I've always made the first move. And again, to each their own. For me personally, it works out best that way.
It truly does. That's what I try to tell people all the time, and they're like, "No, but I don't chase. I
No, of
attract."
course.
And I'm like, "It's not chasing. You're just simply saying like
We should go out.
you're hot.
Hey,
Let's
do you want to
get-
grab
yeah.
a drink?
How are you?
Really attracted to you.
yeah. Like, no, but I agree. I think it's like the most confident thing you can do is just to be like, "Hey."
Yeah,
Let's,
I'm like you then. I'm like you in that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I obviously it's cool when someone comes on to me, but honestly, I'm less attracted to that.
Same.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God,
ew.
it's the worst. I'm like, why are you even talking to me right now?
And I'm like,
was
this
like,
is
I
a
didn't come
like
up
you
to you.
trying
Wait,
to like
you
shoot
like
your...
me? Like,
No.
disgusting.
It's
I'm like, ugh.
No, it's like cringy to see a guy like try to flirt and like shoot their shot with you is kind of how
And
I
it's
felt.
not that I like to chase, right? It's not even that because my friends are like, girl, you like to chase what? Like, you like to chase.
Mm-mm.
And I'm just like, no, it's not that. I think in the beginning,
It's more just kind of marking your territory. It's like,
Mhm.
hey, I'm shooting my shot. I'm calling. I'm just pointing out that
And
I'm
ma-
interested.
yeah.
It's not like I didn't feel like Nally. She made the first move, but she wasn't like begging for it. She was just like, hey, what's
Yeah,
up?
like-
And then she like made me kind of show her that I was interested. You know what I'm saying?
I like
yeah.
that. And I also like, because like, for instance, like if a guy comes on to me too strong, I'm like, how many girls are you coming on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every
if they're
day.
too good, if they're like too suave,
It's not hot to me.
it's gross.
Yeah.
It's not hot to me at all.
What's the
Mm-mm.
worst pickup line you've ever heard?
Do people still do pickup lines? Is that
I've-
Yeah,
I've
I mean,
gotten-
like if
I've
there's a
gotten a
move,
few.
there's a move. You know, you can tell if someone's serving
You've had
up
a
a
few?
move.
I've had a few
Oh
weird
my
ones,
God.
especially when they know who I am if I'm at a bar and they're like, are you the girl singing Sweet But Psycho?
And you're
They're like, I'm
really?
obsessed with that record. Are you actually Sweet But Psycho though?
Oh,
And I'm just like,
Oh.
And I'm just like, totally. I'm like, but my friends are waiting for me, so I'm gonna be right back. And I don't.
I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
And I just feel uncomfortable. Like I don't.
no, because I get it. Like you're thinking, no guy that I would ever date would ever say that to me.
No, it's
He would never say
weird.
that to me.
I had a guy just send me paragraphs on paragraphs, like about sending me my own footage. Like, look at how cool this is and that is. Like nonstop for days, sending me all of my performances and like.
You're like, yeah, I've seen them.
I know I've seen them, but like talking, it's cute, it's sweet, but I'm just like I don't want to talk about that. I'm just like I want to get to know you and vice versa, not about like my singing constantly. You know,
Does it make you uncomfortable when people know who you are?
it does.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
Would you date a fan?
I don't think so.
You wouldn't.
I don't think so.
They would have to
I'm like if you
not
hate
act like a fan.
if you hate my music, I love you. No. I mean, I love my music. Obviously, I love what I make. But it's when someone doesn't talk about my music and feels like they really want to get to know Amanda. You know, I'm like, okay, I can feel that, and I can get down with that.
Okay, what is your favorite first date conversation? Like, what do you want to talk about? Like, what is you're on a first date, and
Definitely
what
not me.
But what could you want to talk about that makes you go, I'm into this conversation? Like, how would you want to spend like an hour meeting and getting to know a guy?
Getting to know where they came from, like who they are, what they like. I know simple stuff like favorite food, like what they want out of life. I like talking about the future a lot. Like I'm a dreamer, so
Like, what about the future?
I could sit and have wine and talk about the future for hours, just like life and what we want to achieve. And I mean, I definitely am looking for like a partner. Like I love a partnership. You know, I think it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing when two people can come together and make something beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you find it difficult to date other musicians?
I don't. I don't.
You don't date them, or you don't find it difficult?
I don't date them.
Oh,
Okay.
Obviously, if one came along and there was
She was
crazy
just like,
chemistry,
no, absolutely
no,
not.
I feel so bad because if one came along and I was like, oh my God, we have great chemistry, it's over. But I'd love it. Again, I'm all about chemistry, but I haven't found that I'm like, I have crazy chemistry with
Would you rather date a musician or a math teacher?
a math
A
teacher.
math teacher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm nerdy like that. I like
A cop
nerds.
or a
I actually like
firefighter?
I do
nerds. I
too.
like dorks.
You like
Yeah, same.
nerds? Okay.
Like a confident dork.
A confident, sexy dork.
Yeah, glasses for sure. A little tie.
Chanel
Muscles, no
glasses.
muscles.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love it. Oh God, I'm blushing.
What do you feel like in your career was like the pivotal moment where you were like, I've made it, like I'm a pop star?
Oh my God, it's so funny. It's so pop star is such a funny word.
It's
And
iconic.
even me saying no, that's what I am. It's weird.
I hear what you're saying. But you're a pop star. We're saying it.
You're a pop star.
It's thanks guys, but it's just so weird to hear. But I
It's like, what do
definitely
you do for work? I'm a pop star.
Yeah.
I'm an accountant. Oh, cool.
it's tough because like obviously I love to sing and make music, but the fame aspect of it I don't love. Hence why I wear glasses because I'm just like lights. Like I'm not like I like the dark, you know.
She's a vampire.
I'm a vampire,
Yes.
and if I can be in the dark all the time, oof, I love it. Yeah, that's my dream. But I think it's great. But I definitely think I felt it when I was traveling a lot after Sweet But Psycho. I had never been to Europe. So when Sweet But Psycho got big, mind you, it got big within like 2-3 weeks. It went #1 everywhere and I lost my mind. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What is going on right now? It was like the only pop song on New Music Friday at the time. And I was like, I don't even know if people are going to like it. And they did. And I started hearing it everywhere.
That must
People
be
were
surreal.
singing. It was surreal. I was living in almost like I wasn't in my normal reality. It was almost, it felt like a fake reality. I'm like, okay, this is real and I need to learn to get used to it. But for a couple years, I was like in shock. Imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember where you were the first time you heard yourself on the radio?
Yeah, I think Finland.
Oh.
Finland.
Yeah, in a bus.
Hmm.
And I started screaming and I like literally did this and I fell. Like I over traumatized
Like a tour
it.
bus, though.
No, it was
Like
like
a
a
public
sprinter just going to
transportation.
like radio station singing
Oh,
my song
okay.
acoustic. You know, like going.
Oh, but
I
the
was doing
driver
so much
just, like,
promo.
Had the radio on.
Yeah, and I heard Sweet But Psycho, and I legit fell on my knees and then back. I'm like, this is crazy.
Oh my God.
It was so surreal.
You have a song, Weapons, and the lyrics about you're using your words against me. I really enjoyed those lyrics. What was your inspiration for that? Just because I think nowadays people love to use various words, in a relationship, and they're like, people will turn, gaslighting is such a common phrase, and I feel like that's like,
Gaslighting is tough because I have such a funny feeling about that word now because it's so used so
co-opted
much
and misused.
and misused.
Yeah.
It's misused. And I definitely do not like it when someone gaslights me. I mean, that is a pet peeve of mine as well. Like, I'm just like, whoa, I can see it. But when it's used a lot, that's when I'm just like, in a relationship, that's when I'm just like, okay, I was wondering, like, I'm not being gaslight. I'm not gaslighting. And I think that's when it becomes kind of a problem in a relationship.
Yeah.
When it's just like, when you're trying to discuss.
Was that song about a particular relationship?
It was about everything, but mainly that song was not about a relationship. It was about just how people were talking bad about me when I first made it on the scene. And they were just like calling me a copycat and they were calling me all these things. And it was kind of hurting me. And because words are like weapons, they go straight to your heart and your mind and it kind of diminishes your light. And that is what that song is about. It's just how I'm just like kind of shutting it out now. And even now when I read it, I'm just like, I know my truth.
Are you
You know?
good at not reading the comments and the bullshit and all that stuff?
I'm not good at not reading it because I'm online and I read it, but I should take a break from social media.
Yeah, no, it can be exhausting.
But I'm human too, I get hurt from
Yeah.
some comments. But people all have different opinions. That's what I've learned. And it's just what it is,
You can't please everyone.
Yeah, everyone thinks differently. Everyone grew up differently. Everyone looks at you differently. It's never going to be one way.
How do you feel like as an artist and as a person, you're the most misunderstood?
I think because I don't share a lot of my personal life. They think I'm this like industry plant sometimes, right? Some people.
An industry plant.
I've read that. It's comedy to me because I'm like, that's so not what it is. I worked so hard, like growing up, to make it over 15 years. It took me over 15 years to break through. And I'm like, if people only knew all of it, and even the haircut, they always thought like the label made me cut my hair like that. The max cut, I guess. And it wasn't that. I was just wanting something weird and different. And I wanted to look completely different than everyone else. So I just did that myself. And online they're like, she's forced to put that wig on. And I'm just like, no, I actually love playing with wigs. I love different hairstyles. And then, it just kept getting bigger and bigger and louder in my head. So it kind of hurt me in the beginning, but I now know I'm like, it doesn't matter. The noise doesn't matter anymore.
Why do you feel like you were so closed off personally to your fans? Is that just kind of a barrier you want to keep?
I think for my own sanity.
Yeah.
I think since we're all energy, I believe that we're all energy and we're made up of stars, stardust. I think if I released all of my personal information out there, it would crumble because not only is there positive energy, there is negative energy and it can tear it down. So I tried to keep my personal life private.
I think there's also something to be said about like people can hate on what they see And, you know, you can be like, well, that's not true. You don't know me. You don't know me. But then when you do show them real parts of you and you show them your real personality and you show
And then
them,
they relate. Yeah.
and then they hate on that, then it feels a
Or
little,
hate on
feels
it.
so much more, well, it just feels so much
Well, yeah,
more
but you're right.
personal because it's like, that's actually who I am. And like, so it just feels, I think, harder to show people that personal side.
I'm learning more and more to show my personal side. I mean, this is probably one of the first interviews I'm talking about really anything personal, because I am trying to open that side up to my fans, and I know they want to know. So I'm trying. I'm just a very private person.
Yeah.
It's just hard for me. And that's the part of fame I guess I
mean,
don't like.
We get it. I mean, I feel like every week there's always something that I'll go to Natalie or vice versa, and I'll be like, should we share this or should I share this? And she'll come to me, and our first thought is like, yeah, why not? Like, what, we're proud of it, or not, or that's a vulnerability that I think could, help people or whatever it is. But it's always a reminder, I'll remind Natalie or vice versa. It's just like, well, we don't have to share this, because once you do, it's out there. And I always kind of remind Natalie, it's like, just know that, like, if they use it against you, how would that affect you? Because that is always a reality of being vulnerable and putting yourself out there and sharing more of your personal side. And that can be difficult because no matter how well-intentioned you are, there will always be someone who tries to tear it to shreds or rip it apart or make some weird accusations, and it affects you. Again,
everybody's different. For me, I came into this industry wanting to share my music, wanting to perform, singing, writing songs. I didn't really think about the fame aspect. So I'm almost like a late bloomer with sharing my personal side, because I didn't want to, so stubborn about it. I just couldn't fathom it. So now it's more of like, no, I want the fans to know a little bit.
Yeah.
I do. I don't want to hide behind a curtain. So I think this year is definitely like the year I come out of the curtain almost, but it's a learning process, because it's hard for me,
It is hard.
It's hard for me.
What about it is the hardest part, though? Have you been burned for it? Like, did you try in the past and regret it?
It's not even that. I think I'm just a private person.
Yeah.
That's all it comes down to. I try and keep things separate, and that's all it is. It's not that the words, like, I've always gotten hate from things. It's not, oh, what are they going to say about it? That doesn't really bother me. It's more so just a decision now I'm making to open up a little more. So it's just a new decision.
I think we're all excited to learn more about Ava Max.
Are you ready to give some relationship advice?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You're going to do so good.
If you like shopping and earning cash back, then you have to check out Ibotta. Spring has sprung, and that means spring cleaning. Whether that means stocking up on cleaning supplies or swapping out your winter clothes with new spring clothes, Ibotta is a free app that gives you the most cash back every time you shop on hundreds of items, from groceries to beauty supplies to toys. So you can make sure that you're beating inflation no matter what you're purchasing. The average Ibotta user earns $256 per year. That's like one really good shopping trip. That's some real money. I mean, listen, for anyone who likes to shop, you might, like, there is like no reason not to get some cash back. Again, shopping for clothes, shopping for, just supplies that you need, toys for your kids. It doesn't matter. You can earn cash back on all of them. Other apps give you points that don't match the amount. With Ibotta, just add up your offers in the app, upload the receipt, and you get real cash that you can cash out to your bank account, PayPal, or gift cards. Join the over 50 million users and earn cash back every time you shop from over 2,700 brands and retailers, including all your favorite grocery stores, plus Lowe's, Macy's, Sephora, Best Buy, and so much more. Right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 just for trying Ibotta by using the code VIALL when you register. Just go to the App Store or Google Play Store and download the free Ibotta app to start earning cash back and use code VIALL. That's IBOTTA in the Google Play or App Store and use code VIALL. Vessi! Do you have a pair of Vessi shoes yet? Why not? I mean, we've been talking about Vessi shoes for the longest time here at the Viall Files because we truly believe in them. And we believe that every person should have a pair of Vessi shoes because they are high quality, great looking, waterproof, not even water resistant. Some of you walk to work and unfortunately hit that pothole puddle. And now you've been walking around that whoosh, whoosh, whoosh every day. That's nonsense. Stop having to travel with 18 different pairs of shoes or tennis shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you know that's like one pair is going to get wet. Not with Vessi. Whether you're hiking, a day at the beach, in the city, Vessi has you covered. Their weekend sneaker, your go-to for any and every activity, whether it's a beach day, a city adventure, a casual hangout. The weekend sneaker is all about versatility and comfort, and it has that kind of classic sneaker look. Or they have their Stormburst Low Top. That's right. It's more of a, for those sneakerheads, those kind of like high design, really cool looking sneakers. In addition to the great shoes, they now have a great Westerly jacket.
The Westerly Coach jacket will get you through any type of weather. In LA, it can be so all over the place. The other day, you remember, it just like randomly stormed.
That was unreal.
Yeah, unreal. And so having that Westerly Coach jacket is crucial.
It's the perfect jacket to keep in your car or to
Yes.
like go to work with every day because it comes in some great colors. You can style it with anything. It looks great. It's very clean. It fits well, and it's going to keep you dry. It's the coolest looking raincoat you'll ever have. I don't even need it to be waterproof. I love it so much. Elevate your spontaneous activities with Vessi's Stormburst or weekend shoes together with their Westernly Coach jacket. Discover more at Vessi.com/VIALL. Get your pair today to get an automatic 15% off your first purchase at checkout and be ready to stay cool and dry. How's it going?
Hi, I'm Kira. I'm 25, and I went through my boyfriend's phone and found some DMs to girls and also text his ex-girlfriend.
Okay, when did you? I'm sorry. First of all, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
What made? How long you been dating him?
A year.
A year. Okay.
Yeah.
What made you want to go through his phone? Is this the first time you've gone through his phone, or is this the first time
Yeah.
you found something?
No, this is the first time I've honestly ever done that. And this did happen a few days ago, so like this past weekend. So still pretty fresh, and I'm praying I'm not gonna cry.
Okay.
But yeah, this was this past weekend, so it's the first time I've ever had that urge. And I guess that urge was right.
What gave you the urge?
To be honest, so we've been dating for a little over a year now, and we just kind of got to this place. Like honestly, this relationship has been really good. And we had just gone on this like amazing trip together. Started talking about like, the future and like, marriage, kids, just kind of taking it like to the next step. And then this past Friday night, like we had gone out a little bit and then came back, and this is going to sound a little psycho. He fell asleep, and I was like making myself food in his apartment, and I was like going to get in bed. He had fallen asleep on the couch. I was going to get into bed, and as I was walking back, I saw he had like fell asleep on his phone so that it was like staying open. And I remember I just like looked at it, and I was like, I should look at that. And so I picked it up, then I just went like right to Instagram and started going through and just found, like months and months of DMs to girls, random girls, like
Multiple women. It wasn't like just
yeah.
one.
No, it was like a lot. And the weird thing about it was that, he would either respond to a story, like DM them something random, and then they would respond, and then he wouldn't respond. But then maybe like a month later, there was like another one where he would say something, they would respond, he wouldn't respond.
And these aren't like women that you know of or like his friend. These are like strangers or just like random Instagram girlies.
Nobody that I know.
You didn't know any of
the only person, I knew was obviously not even personally knew, but, his ex-girlfriend. The other girls, like some were girls that, he had been following, and obviously like going back, I could see that there were, previous conversations. Yeah, like some of them it's kind of embarrassing. It's like I keep kind of laughing. So I'm like, I like get the ick by guys that do this. I'm like, I'm dating one of those guys. Like, this is embarrassing. But yeah, he was like girls he followed, some girls that he didn't. Like it was like, these messages would be sitting in their request box, like on their Instagram.
Like what kind of messages? Or is he like,
I'm in shock.
do you have screenshots?
I have screenshots.
Yes.
I have notes.
Oh my God.
I have everything.
Love-
Have you
thank
confronted-
God,
Gosh,
Kira,
you came
we
prepared.
love you.
Oh, I came. Listen, like I came prepared. Like the messages were definitely like flirty and like not necessarily like explicit, but definitely flirty. Like we could have been so cute. Let's go out. Let's get drinks.
What?
Come visit. I have a bedroom for you. I would have invited you.
I can't. Are you still with him right now?
Yeah.
Have you confronted him?
Yeah.
Oh, I have. Yeah.
You have?
I can't. I'm pretty like wrecked. And like that night I was reading them and I feel like if me maybe 2-3 years ago, if I found this, I would have defaced his apartment, left in the middle of the night, and burnt the entire city down. But I've moved beyond that. So I just like took it in and, kind of just sat with it. And I ended up going to sleep and, waiting until the morning. And then when he got up, he like came and got in bed, tried to touch me. And I was like, don't fucking touch me. And then it kind of went from there. And he was like, why? And I just was like, I feel like I don't have to tell you why. Like, I don't think I need to explain this. And then we sat in silence for a bit.
Did he know?
I think he must have known, like, deep down. But then as we went on, I was like, you fell asleep on your phone last night and left it open. And he was like, what did you see? And I was like, again,
what did you see? That's a terrible question.
You're being way nicer than how I would have been.
What did you see means it makes it sound like which app did you open?
Yeah.
Because there's more. Does he have Snapchat?
Yeah, I did look at that, and that didn't really unearth much.
Okay.
Texts, I went through all that.
What was with the ex-girlfriend?
That was like, it was kind of bizarre. And this one, it wasn't flirty like these other ones, but I just was like, why? It was, I guess they had run into each other, and then they went back and forth a little bit, and the girlfriend was like, we have to catch up sometime, and kind of just stuff like that. But
Weird.
I just think that's weird. I'm just like,
unnecessary.
why?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Where are you two now, and what can we actually help you out with?
So we had this conversation Saturday morning, and the conversation on Saturday morning, I felt like it went really well, and he like really like took accountability and took it on the nose and just was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I hate seeing you hurt. Like, I hate seeing you like this. And then that day I actually had like a friend in town. So I kind of had to like I felt good by the end of it. And then I had to like go see my friend, and we're running around. And I also feel like I don't want to tell like any of my friends about this because I think they would deface his apartment and burn the city down for me. So I just kind of like went on with my day, and I think I was just in shock then. And then like Sunday, I started to get really just sad, and I just was like crying all day. And then yesterday I had work, and so I'm busy, and then actually Sunday night he ended up like calling me, and like he wanted me to come over, he wanted to talk about it. However, this is kind of where I'm now like very conflicted is I went over and he claimed that he had talked to his therapist, which he's been in therapy for like, I guess a little over a year, like prior to me. And his therapist put this thing, you guys are going to die, put this thing in his head that was like, well, what made her go through, why would she go through your phone?
Oh, and tried to like turn it on you.
Yeah. So now, Sunday, it became a thing of like him being like, well, I didn't know we were like in a relationship like that you're going to go through my phone. I've never had anybody do that to me. Do I have to hide my phone from you? And I was like, please, like, get a grip, really.
No, you can't.
Do I have to hide my phone from you?
Oh, this is an immediate runaway.
Okay.
So this is where we're at.
Ghost
like him,
the bitch.
right? Like right now, he's still trying to turn it on you.
Last night when we talked, like he called me because I was like sobbing, crying.
Wait, like did he literally call you up and be like, so I just talked to my therapist. Turns out it's your fault.
I can't.
Like,
yeah.
like,
no, it was definitely like, and he used the buzzwords of like, I don't want to minimize your feelings. I know this is so bad, but I'm just like really alarmed at how, you went through my phone. And to be honest, like my first thing, like I feel like I'm a very open person in general, but I don't really have anything to hide on my phone. So I don't think I would care. Like I let anybody like look on my camera.
You seem so kind,
whatever.
though.
Like it doesn't affect, like I wouldn't be freaked out by someone going on my phone.
well, that's the thing. You could have gone through his phone and you could have found nothing. And then you could have either kind of had that moment with yourself and been like, you know what, that was silly of me. I shouldn't have done that. And you could have even have said to him the next day, listen, can I be honest with you? You left your phone open and I had a moment of weakness and I went through your phone and I just got to say, like, thank you for like proving all my insecurities wrong and yada, yada, yada. And then that would have been like such like a minor little like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. But at the end of the day, thanks for being who you
Yeah,
are,
prove me
blah,
wrong.
blah, 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 blah. And like, turns out, like, again, this wasn't like one message because, yeah, going through someone's phone is not necessarily a great habit in a relationship. You want trust. And I am a big believer too, if you're looking to find something, chances are you're going to. You know, like, you could have been calling up and be like, I found something in his phone, and you could have told us, and we could have been like, yeah, but I guess, you know, like the ex-girlfriend. If all you found was a message to the ex-girlfriend, and then we were like, well, what's that message about? And it's like, well, they ran into each other and they exchanged kind of like friendly banter, but there was never really any crossing the line. And even though it like annoyed you that he talked to his ex and didn't tell you about it, which would have been wrong and you would have the right to be upset about it, but like we could have talked it all through, and at the end of the day I've been like, you know what, maybe there's nothing really there. You shouldn't have gone through his phone, and maybe just some better communication. But this is a laundry list and an historical pattern of him talking to multiple people and saying wildly inappropriate stuff for a guy who has a girlfriend, you know, and he's very much giving fuckboy in his single era and not like deeply in love and in a committed relationship talking about his future. And that's the big problem. And like, is he still fighting the whole phone thing? Like, I mean, I guess where do you want to fight for this relationship, or like, or do you want permission to break up with them? Because we can give it to you.
So that, that was kind of like I don't know, like my first reaction, like when I was reading these, I like felt bad for him in like a pity kind of way, where I was like, oh, like, why do you feel the need to do this? Like,
well, that's the big question.
you
Why
know,
does he?
You're
Yeah.
far too
Yeah,
kind. You're far too kind. Tell him to stay in therapy and run away. Tell him to stay
I
in
know,
therapy.
that's kind of like my like fatal flaw sometimes, where I'm very into therapy and like, you know, psychology and that kind of stuff. So I'm always looking for like okay, well, why did this happen? Or why did you do this? And kind of what he also said too, like in our initial conversation, was that this has been a thing for him. Like he had a girlfriend for 5 years
Okay.
up until 3 years ago. He's also 31. And I guess this was kind of an acceptable thing in his past relationship. The girlfriend apparently was like, as long as there's no action, it's
I don't
fine.
believe that.
Yeah.
That's him being like, I have this ex. She let me do this. And so I just like thought every girl would let me do this.
Is that basically what he said? That's a lie. There's no way. There's no. Is
Well,
this
yeah,
is
that
this the
was pretty
same
much it.
ex-girlfriend he's been DMing with, or someone else?
Yeah, the same one.
Oh, well, great. Well, you can reach out to her and ask if it's true. There's no way. What?
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
And he also did bring something up about how like he's talked about this in therapy, and it's like some attention or like validation thing.
Sure.
And
Yeah, that makes sense.
and 100%. And also, truth be told, like in my previous relationship, it was a very toxic, like very messy relationship. I was cheated on relentlessly. I did some retaliatory cheating. And I remember I felt like horrible about it. Like I literally wanted to like die. I just felt like the worst person ever. And then like going on in my life and into my relationships, like I feel like I can see, like I look at how I was feeling when I did that. And sometimes I'm like, how can you be going along for, you know, like almost a year, like doing this, but then also hanging out with me and seeing me and telling me you love me, but you're saying all this shit to these girls, you know?
Well, yeah. I mean, you'd be surprised how people can do things, but
I know.
and then
that's what I-
the
that's
simple
what I don't
explanation is
understand.
like he was getting something from them that he wasn't getting from you. You know.
And I did ask. I said, I was like, you not get enough attention from me? Like,
Sometimes
I feel
it's
like
the
my
type
whole
of
life
attention
revolves
people
around you. Like,
desire.
I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes it's just a matter of wanting new attention. You know, sometimes it can't be enough. Some people are, you know, suckers for that constant fix of making sure it's always like building that roster of attention. You know, sometimes it is a numbers game, especially for men. It's just like, it's not about any more meaningful connections. It's about just making sure they can. You know, I think a
And
lot of
that's what
guys
I
like,
felt like
yeah.
those DMs were.
Yeah,
Because
just
it was like the message, the response, no response.
it's very much as a guy, like a lot of, I don't know, maybe women feel that way too, but just knowing you can and just putting it out there. And he's doing the thing where it's just like, well, it's not real. You know, he is obviously justifying it to himself. You know, well, I just messaged someone. I didn't really do anything. I didn't even respond to their message. You know, it's like he has a pattern of that, you know, and he's trying to justify it. So that's, you know, one, if you were trying to make it work with him, you have to first figure out why he's so willing to justify the stuff. And then two, figure out why needs to do this. But your big problem is he's trying to defend it now. And I wouldn't even blame his therapist. I mean, people are notorious for like listening to the therapist and then taking what they want to hear, selective hearing from their therapist, and then regurgitating it to, like, say, people like you. I bet if you would talk to his therapist, they'd probably be like, I didn't say it like that, you know?
Yeah.
You know, they they mentioned like one moment, it's like, well, she did go through your phone and that's not necessarily healthy. And he's like, you know what? Fuck that. Yeah, it's not. And like completely, who knows? You know what I'm saying? So like, I wouldn't blame his therapist. He's clearly not wanting to take I think the big takeaway is he's not interested in taking actual accountability.
Yeah.
You know, he's not falling on the sword and being like, you know what? This is fucked up. I do have a habit of this. This is gross. Like I'm embarrassed for myself. And even then it wouldn't be a sure thing to actually choose to forget him, but he's not saying any of that. And that's more than anything, the bigger red flag.
The thing that concerns me is that like the initial conversation, and I feel like we've had a very good relationship up until now. And I think this is also why it's like so like shocking to me. And I don't know, like he's normally very good with if there's like a conflict or if I'm like upset about something, he's very good at handling it. And, Saturday he handled it the way that I would have expected him to and taken the accountability. But then the next day I was like taken aback because I just was like, I've never seen this. He's never given me that kind of reaction to things where it's like, well, he's never like, well, you're dramatic or you're like nothing ever like that.
He called you dramatic?
No. I'm saying he's never said that. Like I never had that reaction to me when we've had, an argument or if I'm upset about something. So then all of a sudden this like this idea is coming up of like the kind of gaslighty, like turning it on me or making an excuse, which it's never been a thing between us before.
I feel like he definitely got defensive. I feel like you pointed out something that he's been doing because he is missing some sort of attention or validation, and he needs that, like, do I still have it? Can I still get these girls? I might not want them, but will they still respond to me? And I think you calling that out and him, like, you being like, you've been messaging these girls, I think he got embarrassed. And I think that's why he was like, turned defensive, turned it on you. I don't think that's like who he is as a person. I don't think that this is like some side of him that you've never seen. I think you caught him in the act. He got very embarrassed and he handled it extremely wrong. Is what I think.
I agree. And I felt that was kind of also the feeling that I was getting, like when we were talking about it. It was almost like he wanted to like crawl out of his skin and hide. Like very like humiliated, embarrassed, like and I'm also like I was very calm, but I can have a way with words. And honestly, the first thing I said to him was like, I don't understand the reasoning and like what urge you have to be doing this, but you should get it checked out by a professional. And he was like,
was that before? And then he did, and then he came back and said it's your fault.
So I should have taken back the professional part because they're not professional.
Well, yeah, I mean, like,
never mind.
you it sounds like you can acknowledge that that last part you kind of said to hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
Sure. And it backfired. Not shocking. No. But like, what do you want to do? I guess because like I don't disagree with Natalie. I mean, like, this is not for necessarily art to say. People have gotten over worse. Like you could choose for this not to be a fireable offense. Like it's not fun. It's not easy to get over. There might be some healing involved, but like you could.
But things tend to come up a lot once it happens once. So are you willing to deal with this for the rest of your life if it keeps coming up? Are you willing to deal with that? That's the real question.
But also I think you can go from this and say like, okay, we're going to work through this and it's going to be okay. But we have now from this point forward, we have an open phone policy, and it's not like I get to go through your phone
that's good.
And look through whatever. It's, I know your password, you know my password. Like if I want to if I want to Google something because my phone's charging in the room, I'm going to grab yours and Google it. It's not like there's no gray area. It's not weird. It's natural. It's your second phone. It's natural. It doesn't feel weird to like grab his. He shouldn't be like scared that you grab his.
Yeah, it shouldn't give him anxiety when you're like going through not going through his phone, but like Natalie said, I know Natalie's password. She knows mine. There are times where we have a kid, right? So she's like, hey, can you look this up? I don't know where my phone is. It's like hidden in the couch. And I grab her phone, I go in her password and I Google something and I'm in her phone. And I'm not looking at her DMs. I'm not looking at her text messages, but I have full access to her phone and vice versa.
Healthy. That's
and I don't, it's like, I'm not worried like, oh, fuck, I just don't look at this. Don't fucking open up that fucking page. Don't fucking do it. Don't fucking, oh, thank God. You know what I'm saying? So like, to Nallie's point, suggesting that he shouldn't be like, well, why do you need to? Are you going to go through my phone? It's just like, well, the idea is the idea shouldn't bother you, and I need that type of security given your past.
And I think you're smart enough to see, you can tell when they start acting weird, when it starts being like, here, no, I'll just look it up for you. Or like, here, why don't we just find your phone? When they start getting weird, you can be like, no, why? Like, and I think you can read that and you can go off of that. But I do think having an open phone policy really will ease that like future anxiety and heal this wound. And maybe you can grow from it.
And I think that's kind of what I'm looking for is the things to do to move on and heal and like work through it. And I think I've kind of just been going through all these emotions, and my big thing at first was like, okay, let me like take a minute and like feel all these things. And then once I'm kind of like leveled and calm, like I'll look at it. And my other idea was, we're taking note of this, like this is down on the books. I'm going to proceed. And now that this is a thing and that this has been acknowledged, like, this is noted. I'm not necessarily going to be like holding it over his head or like anything like that. But I think being aware, like, I don't want to move on acting like I can't ignore this, I can't act like this never happened.
So I have a question for you. Part of this was so hard because it felt like the relationship was going really well. So it came out of left field.
Yeah.
Do you right now today, despite what's happened, even though this happened, the question still stands. Do you have you leading up into this and still now feel like he loves you? Do you feel his love? And do you feel like he desperately wants to be with you? Like, do you know that without having to ask them, or has he communicated that? Or is it this one of those things where like, well, yeah, we had a good relationship because we get along and nothing was a problem and I guess our sex was okay. But like in this moment, are you like, I know he's obsessed with me. I know he loves me. I feel that love constantly. How would you answer that question?
I would say yes. And I think like that's what scares me though.
Why?
Because it's like, how can I like feel that? And like, how can he say all these things, but then be doing all these things? Like I think that's what freaks me out a lot is and I said to him too, I was like, where do I come when you're doing this? Like, where do I come into it? Like, do I not even occur to you? Does it not even, you don't even think that, oh, this would upset her? Because everything I do, like, whether I'm making a dinner plan or whatever it is, like he's the first person on my mind.
Sure.
I don't think he did.
Yeah.
I don't think he does think of you. And honestly, I think it would be worse if he did think of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And have you ever had a moment? I mean, I know it's really hard to sometimes hear that or even think that. But in reality, if we really put ourselves in other people's shoes, I think it's possible to realize that we've had moments of selfishness. You've probably done things. Do you have siblings?
Yeah.
Parents? Are you have a relationship with your parents?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you love them a lot. Have you ever done something where you clearly did not consider their feelings that hurt them?
Yeah.
Right. So like when you ask yourself, how could you do this? Like,
Yeah. I guess it was really just all about him.
Yeah. But I think that's it's good that you feel that, because I think a lot of times when we talk to people, it's just like, well, how does he make you feel, or how do they make you feel? And people have a hard time answering that question. So the fact that you can answer it is good, and I know it can be scary, but yeah. So now you have to figure out, why he is doing this, and how can you build that trust back in a way that you don't have that instinct to go through his phone. Yeah, it's good to have that policy, but like you don't want to have that policy that you actually. It'd be weird if Natalie and I had this policy and every day I was like, well, thank God, another
pull up the DMs.
Yeah, another day in the clear. That's right. Like in those warehouses where they're like 100 days without an accident. Like, that would be weird.
Exactly.
But like you have to heal again, and so I also say this as it sounds like two individuals in therapy, you know, as he is and you are. Very pro therapy, you know. I think that's great that you are, but you do for the very reason that you demonstrated it. You have to be careful that you guys aren't using the, you know, it's like, well, I talked to my therapist, and it's, well, I talked to mine, and you know what I'm saying? That's a great sign of two people getting into couples therapy. You know, that might be something that you guys could benefit from, because you guys going to individual therapy, great, continue that. That's how you guys continue to work on yourselves. I hope he looks into this on his end. But him coming to you and talking to you about what he learned in therapy is really, I find it to be sometimes offering more harm than good, because again, I don't think even without trying, we sometimes can quote unquote weaponize that against, you know, it's like we have the best intentions, but we want to talk about what we learned. And it's like, well, that really sounds like you're blaming me for something, you know. And sometimes I think we, again, we'll selectively hear what a therapist is trying to say. Where in couples therapy, you guys could be talking about something that triggers you or vice versa. You have this couple therapy is like, well, wait, you're not hearing what they're saying. Go back and repeat it. They can pay attention to, again, what a good couples therapy is literally there to do is to mediate, right? And make sure that each other is hearing the other person. And when they don't, they pause, point it out, kind of recenter, reconnect. And like, it sounds like maybe you guys could benefit from that, because like individual therapy, you're working on yourself. You're not necessarily working on the relationship. Now, it might benefit the relationship, but like, I don't know if you can get to a place with him from a healing standpoint without you guys getting on the same page. And right now, clearly you're not.
Right. And that's how I feel like in his mind, he is, you know, quote unquote, very offended and upset that I went through his phone. And then in my mind, I feel like he's not really grasping like how hurt and upsetting this is to me.
Yeah. Have you asked him what about it offends you so much?
Typical invasion of privacy, you know, crossing a boundary, that kind of thing.
Tom, it's going to get worse then.
But like, what is the boundary? What is that boundary?
I think, so the way he like was describing it and how I like made myself a meal and like got in bed and took his phone and like put the TV on. And it was like I was in a movie, like getting to work. And I was like, yeah. And really, and to be honest, I said to him, like, you know, I'm sorry that offends you. I was completely purposefully saying, like, you know, I'm sorry you feel that way. Because I don't really think that I am, like, I mean, look what I found. It'd be different if I didn't find anything. I'd be like, yeah, that was like screwed up on me. Like, I'm sorry. But, you know, I don't know how to like have a conversation where he can like completely grasp how like hurtful this is to me without like considering this whole phone thing. And I also don't know if there's like a productive way to say, like, forget about your damn phone.
Kind of.
Look what you've done. You know,
I mean, you almost kind of have to say that. You just be like, I'm not going to argue semantics with you over like a phone policy. At the end of the day, like, I would have loved to have gone through your phone and not found something and apologized for questioning you. But that didn't happen, unfortunately.
Right.
So
and I feel like it should be null and void, the phone thing, because of what I found.
And you can say, like, you go through my phone. Like, I take great pride in being in a relationship knowing that, like, my phone, like, I trust you guys say I love you to each other, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Like, we say I love you to each other. Do you guys live together?
No.
Okay. But you spend a lot of nights together, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I love you. We say I love you together. We're spending all these nights together. Like, I tell people you're the person I trust the most and vice versa. So, like, going through each other's phone for two people who say they trust each other, like, clearly shouldn't be an issue. And like, yes, I guess I'm sorry. It's not that you went through his phone. It's that you doubted him. But unfortunately,
but I was right.
Exactly. Because he wouldn't, like, anyone, like, if I walked home and I caught Natalie in like this like deep dive in my phone, and let's say I left my phone, I'd been like, why are you going through my phone? You know, I would have been like, it would have been a little weird. I'd been like, that seems off. But I wouldn't have been triggered. I'm like, did you have fun? Was that enjoyable? Like, is there something I can help you out with? Is there a reason why you had, you know? But I'd be totally calm. I wouldn't have been like, how
that's kind of
dare
weird.
you? Like, it's just like, because there's just nothing there that I'm, you know. But I would have taught. I would have been like,
that was my point.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like the people that get so upset and offended about this are the people that have things to hide.
Correct.
Because I don't think you could look at my phone right now,
Yeah.
tomorrow, the next week, any day.
And yes,
And I
you
don't
can
blame you.
acknowledge, yes, I wish I didn't feel that. And that's something, if we choose to stay together, we need to also acknowledge and work through as a couple. And I'm happy to talk about that. But for you to try to completely turn this around on me and act as if my actions somehow let you off the hook, you know, he's trying to sell it as like, well, if you had never done it, you would have never found it. And therefore, I wouldn't be in trouble now.
Right.
You know?
And I said to him too, I was like, so what was the plan? Like, were we just going to keep going along and you were going to keep doing this? Like, what was the idea here? And really, like, I don't know how else I would have really found out. Like, you know, he's a bit older than me, kind of has a different like group of friends. Unless I had some hey girly text in my DMs, like, I don't know how I would have found out. And so I'm not necessarily mad at myself.
Does he post
For
you on his
finding out.
Instagram?
On like stories, I haven't posted him. I'm just like I'm not a big poster.
I just
So-
didn't know if the girls
But
he's
do you
DMing
post?
with
Yeah.
were like,
Yeah. Well, yeah, and like he hasn't posted a picture in like months, and he did make a comment about, you know, because I said like when was this going to stop? Like when was there a plan, or were we going to keep going? Like what was the deal? And he was like, well, I feel like after, you know, once I like posted you all on my thing, like it would stop. And I was like, well, that doesn't make sense because it's not like girls are DMing you.
Excuses.
You're DMing
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah.
You deserve
So I
better,
understand
girl.
that
I know all your
process.
girlfriends probably tell you this, but you deserve better.
Thank you. And that's kind of what I've been like thinking about, you know, it's like, I don't deserve, I'm the last person. I feel like I'm the last
Yeah, girl,
person
you have
to
the whole
deserve-
package.
but
Well,
also it's like, I think people make mistakes. People are flawed and
Yeah.
none of us are perfect. And I do think I don't think this is a fireable offense, right? He messaged some girls and he said some flirty things and it's fucked up. And if he takes accountability for it and he continues to work on himself and he is like, here's my phone. Like, if you ever want to go through it, I swear there's never anything in it. Like,
Yeah.
I promise to you right now that this will never happen again. Then
I want to
think-
do the work and let's build our trust back and like really going for
But it doesn't seem like he's
Yeah.
doing that.
Not yet. Yeah.
Not yet.
You
Yeah.
know?
No, like, and that's kind of the other thing. And that's when we talked on the phone last night, and I was like, you know, he has a big job. I have a big, intense job. Like, but you know, I was like, I feel like this is like overtime hour. Like, you should be putting in overtime, and you're not. And
That's the
I think
thing.
that's weird.
And back to my question of, do you feel like his love? But like, he should be the one who gives you the answer if this is worth fighting for through his actions.
Exactly.
And you shouldn't have to convince him of how to proceed. He should be making it so clear how desperate he is and not even having all the answers as to how he can get back to a place where he wants to be with you. But he should make that very clear. If you are the one trying to come up with ideas of how to fix the relationship, if you're the one who's like waiting on him to, you know, figure out where he's at, if you're still confused by all of this, then I think that, to Ava's point, that's a huge red flag. So it does seem unclear, like,
Yeah.
whereas we sit right here of like really what you should do next. And it sounds like you know, this is raw and new,
Yeah.
but right now he's not handling it the way we would like for him,
Yeah.
for you to try to make this work.
Yeah. It's like, unfortunately, the ball is in his court. And it's like,
Yeah.
what your future with him depends on how he continues to act.
Yeah. And last night on the phone, he was like, well, I just don't, because I said the overtime thing. I was like, I feel like, you know, he should be doing a lot to try to fix this or keep this going. And he's like, well, I don't know what to do. Like, and I'm also normally like, when I get upset about things, I like to be alone. And like, I just kind of like to have my moment until I'm like ready to talk. But like, that's not how I'm feeling right now. And I said to him, like, you know, he asked, he was like, well, do you want your space? Like, do you want your space? And I was like, no, like, I don't really want space right now. Like, this isn't the time that like, for you to check out and be like, all right, well, I hope she gets over this.
Yeah, and
I hope she
I'm
feels
sorry.
better.
I just don't think most people, and especially guys, when they truly feel like they fucked up and they are about to lose something they desperately and deeply do not want to lose, they're not going like, well, are you sure you want your space? I just want to give you your
Yeah,
space.
that means he wants his
They're not doing that. Like, it usually means he's fine with the space that you're giving him or wanting from them. The fact that you had to ask that question, the fact that you had to point out to him, like, shouldn't you be doing more? The fact you had to come up with that whole analogy about overtime in relationships, that's a huge red flag. And I hate that for you. I really think you need to do nothing right now and see what he does.
Okay.
I agree.
And he doesn't have to have all the answers. That's the thing. He doesn't have to have any answers. All he has to say is, what can I do? What I want to do more. You're right. Like, back to your original point, like, I've realized that I'm sorry about the whole, like, putting it on you. Like, yeah, I don't love that you went through my phone, but you're right. I see the bigger picture. I'm embarrassed by this. I'm grossed out by it. Like, yeah, that's not that hard. Like, you know, we've all had moments where, like, I've had times where Natalie's like, what the fuck was that? And I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry. I have nothing to say. You know, like, you know, and yeah, I could give her like some small explanation, but at the end of the day, it was like, oh, fuck, yeah, I'm just like, I'm embarrassed. I fucked up. Like, what do you know, and I'm really sorry, you know, and, you know, this is obviously a much bigger thing, but it should be that at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, this deserves a long apology. I mean, I'm a fan of a long apology, like, over and over again. Let me make it up to you. I'm so sorry. I'm never doing
and
this
that was
again.
kind of my thought process.
Like, he needs
I feel
to
like you should be begging and pleading and prodding, but
But you shouldn't have to tell him that. And that you're going to have to try to hold your challenge for the next few days is to not give him the notes on how to fix this. You can't give him the playbook of how to make you feel better. He has to come up with that on his own. And if he can't, then that is your answer. And if he does, then that's at least a green light for you to say, maybe this is worth fixing. Maybe we can get to a place. But like your answer is in how you address the next few days. And you have to literally do nothing and then see what he does without giving him any notes or any feedback. And you can't even like tell a friend to tell him, because we do that sometimes. You're like, if he just does this, and by the way, he's not doing it. So you just like tell him to fucking send me flowers. And it's going to be very difficult for you to do nothing and see what he does, because, you know, you might have to grieve again, you know, in 4 days of all of a sudden you see his actions and being like, well, you know what? Honestly, I know what Nick would say. You know, and then you're going to be really sad about it. And you might be forced to end a relationship you don't want to end. But, you know, to Ava's point, you know, if he's not willing to address it the way that it needs to be addressed, then all this is this a preview of your future with him?
Yeah. So if he like reaches out I know tonight he's going home to his family, but like,
he can still call, you know, I'm just saying.
Okay. So
you'll
like,
know,
answer the
you'll
call,
know
not necessarily
have a conversation for yourself. What do I need from him? And it's not answers. What you need is effort. You need to know, you need the reassurance. You need the, you know, what can I do? You need him to fall on his sword, and you need him to humble himself into whatever, what can I do? And that's just the start. Again, that's not you being like, you know what, I now I can forgive you because you're willing to do anything. People say all the time they're willing to do anything, and then they show you that they're not.
He knows you're stressed. Yeah. He knows you're stressed. And so for him to not reach out as much as you're saying he's not, he needs to, if he loves you.
Yeah, I think you definitely answer his calls. And then I think if he tries to continue on with like but you went through my phone, you can just be like, listen, this isn't the conversation I'm having. So like, call me back when you want to have a different one.
Yeah.
You can hang up.
That was my next question. I'm like, if the phone is brought up again, how to respond to that.
Yeah.
But again, that's your answer. It's him not doing, he needs to show you that he's willing to take accountability, humble himself, and start the healing process. And right now he's trying to win. He's trying to win the argument so that he doesn't have to do the work and doesn't have to apologize. So like, yeah, you can say whatever you want if he asks those questions, but it doesn't even matter how you respond. It's just listening to his answers through his words and his actions. You can just be like, you know what? That's all I needed to hear. Okay. Because that will be his answer. And the more he does that, the more you're going to get, unfortunately, an answer you don't want to have, but it will be the clarity that you are looking for. Because the last thing you want is to work on this relationship by yourself and do all the work because you're too afraid of giving up what you thought was great, but realized it wasn't. And then, you know, have to break up with him 12 months from now because you finally realize he's actually not doing anything. Yeah. So he'll give you the answer, I guess, is the, you know.
Yeah. I hope so.
You'll
I
have
hope
to
so
give
too.
You'll have to give us an update.
Oh, I will. I will.
You have to.
Good
Right.
luck.
All right.
Back.
So do not let him reach out. Don't follow with him. Ball is very much in his court. And you don't have to be difficult, but like
Mhm.
think about what you want to hear from him, what you need to hear from him, and see if he does it.
All right. Noted.
All right.
I've been taking notes, so
Okay.
I'll remember that.
Well, let us know.
All right. I will.
All
Thank
right.
you guys so
Take
much.
care.
Thank
All right.
you.
Sorry
Bye.
about
Bye.
this.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Relationships are hard, Ava.
Have you ever gone through an ex's phone?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Did you almost? Because you look like you had to think.
No,
about
I had to
that.
think about that because there's been a couple exes, but I definitely know.
Never.
No, I don't need to. I feel like, yeah.
That's good.
It is good.
That's good.
At least up till now.
Yeah, we'll see going forward.
How do you? What do you? Before we let you go, there's one more question. How do you feel about? I know are you with Universal? Or you were with Universal
I'm
Music?
with Atlantic.
You were authentic. How do you feel about the music industry and TikTok and what's going on? Like a lot of music being pulled off of TikTok and a lot of artists being discovered on TikTok. Do you have any thoughts about that or advice for young artists who are relying on that app? And it's just kind of like, what's the insider baseball with that topic?
It's a tough topic for sure because I know people are kind of split in the middle right now. I mean, I like that new artists can get discovered from it and have no label and have no management. And it's a beautiful platform to release unreleased music and then have the fans really decide. I think that is beautiful. It's almost like just see what happens. And people who never maybe would have had a chance have a chance. And I think that's beautiful. Right. But I guess the controlling aspect of it in ways where like controlling the music is not the best part for artists. But again, I always like a platform where artists who don't have any help can have the fans decide if their music, if they like their music or not. I think that's a beautiful thing.
Like SoundCloud is kind of where you you
Yeah.
had a kind of SoundCloud moment and got discovered there?
I love SoundCloud. Yeah, it was the reason why I got
Yeah.
discovered and signed. And I put one song on it.
Yeah.
And after a month, I had just like a bunch of record labels wanting to sign me, and it was all because of that one song.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's crazy how it works for some people and some people it doesn't. My ex was a SoundCloud rapper.
Oh, I mean, look, whatever's written in the stars, right?
It's terrible. But you better believe I was rapping every word before. But now I'm like, it was so
Do you
bad.
still know his songs?
I'm sure if it was played, I would be able to sing
Mhm.
along. But
He's going for his passion. That's
Yeah.
the most
he's
important.
doing
thing.
it.
Well, Ava, it was so great to talk with you.
Thank you, you guys too.
Congratulations on all your success. Where can my audience find you if they want to listen to your music, follow you, consume everything that Ava Max is doing?
Oh my goodness! Right now, I just released "My Oh My," the first single off the third album.
Yeah,
I'm
looks great song. Love.
Thank you. I'm so
Congratulations.
excited about it. Literally anywhere, Spotify, Apple, whatever. But I'm more excited about you guys. Y'all just had a baby and getting married. Congrats!
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're excited.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
coming.
Well, don't forget to send in those questions at asknick@thevalfiles.com for all things texting office hours. Make sure you follow Ava, listen to her new music, all of the above. We'll see you back on Monday. Bye. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.